So, some other consequences are the court must, as soon as the winding up order is made, cause intimation thereof to be sent to the official liquidator and the registrar under section 443. So, the petitioner and the company must also file the registrar within 30 days a certified copy of the order under section 445 subsection 1. In case the certified copy is not filed, the petitioner is fined under section 445. The registrar should take the minutes in his book and notify in the official gazette that such an order has been made. Under section 445 subsection 2, the order of for finding up the is deemed to be a notice of discharge to the officers and the employees except when the business is continued. And suits against the company are stayed unless the court gives leave to continue or commence proceedings. All powers of the boards of directors ceases and the same are then exercised by the liquidators. On the commencement of the winding up of the limitation ceases to run in favor of the company, and the disposition of the property of the company and the transfer of share in the company are then void. The official liquidators, by virtue of his office, becomes the liquidator of the company and takes possession and control of the assets of the company, section 536 subsection 2. Any justice or execution put in force without the court order are void, section 537 subsection A. Any type of sale or floating charges created within the period of proceeding are void, section 534. And the last second, statement of affairs to be made to the liquidator, order of dissolution by the court thereafter the company has no existence. So these are some of the points or the consequences which the company is going to face. So till when the company need to wait till the government is not going to give any kind of order that the company can proceed for the winding up, till that time they need to wait. If they filed the petition, some creditors or some other shareholder person filed a petition and the company found in guilt, then they will tell the company to pay the amount. After that only they can wind up the company, otherwise they can't wind up the company. Till that time they are not going to pay the creditors or the shareholders. So these are some of the points or consequences of winding up of a company. So the next one is voluntary winding up. So winding up by the member or the creditors without any intervention of the court is called voluntary winding up. Means the owner or the creditors or the shareholders, if the company has paid all the amount to those persons, to the shareholders or to the creditors, then the person can send a notice that they are going to wind up the company to the all the parties which are involved in the company. Then they can wind up the company. As per section 484, the company may be wound up voluntarily by ordinary resolution or by special resolution. By passing an ordinary resolution is general meeting, where either the time is fixed by the articles of the duration of the company has expired, or the event specified in the articles has occurred on which the company is to be dissolved. So, the reason can be of any kind, that in the article of association they have given that they are going to run the company only for a particular period of time. After that, they are going to wind up the company. In any other case, the company may resolve to the wound up by voluntarily by passing a special resolution in general body meeting of the shareholders. A voluntary winding up is deemed to commence from the time the resolution for voluntary winding up is passed. When the company has passed the resolution for the voluntary winding up, it must, within 14 days, give notice in official gazette and also in some newspapers in the newspapers. Then, so they need to give the voluntary wind up. They need, if they are going to give the voluntary wind up, again they need to give a notice or inform everyone that they are going to wind up the company. So there are some of the consequences of voluntary winding up as well. They are as follows. The voluntary winding up is deemed to be commenced at the time when the resolution of voluntary winding up is passed, that the resolution has been passed that they need to wind up the company. Second, the company from the commencement of the winding up must cease to carry on its business except so far as many may be required to secure a beneficial winding up, transfer of shares, and alteration in the status of members made after commencement becomes void. Then a resolution to winding up voluntarily operates as notice of discharge to the employee of the company. Then on the appointment of the liquidator, all the powers of board of directors shall cease except after the permission of the registrar. So these are some of the voluntary winding up. Then types of voluntary winding up. So voluntary winding up are of two types. First, members voluntary winding up, and second one is creditors voluntary winding up. So the first one, members voluntary winding up. Members voluntary winding up is possibly only in case of solvent companies. Declaration of solvency. The director must inquire whether the company will be able to pay all its debts within the period of 3 years or not. Second one, in order to effective, this declaration must be made within 5 weeks immediately preceding the date of passing of the winding up resolution by the members, delivered to the registrar for filling, must be accompanied by a copy of the report of the auditor of the company on the accounts and balance sheet. So, appointment and remuneration of liquidators. Under section 492, the company in general meeting must appoint one or more liquidators, fix the remuneration. Any remuneration of the fixed, so fixed cannot be increased in any circumstances whatever, whether with or without the sanction of the court. No liquidator shall charge of his office unless his remuneration is fixed. Board's power to seize. Section 491. On the appointment of the liquidators, all the powers of the directors ceases, but their power may continue in the general body or liquidator sanction it. And The next one is notice of the appointment of the liquidator to be given to the registrar, section 493, within 10 days of his appointment. Otherwise, rupees 1000 fine will be there for per day. So powers of liquidator to accept shares etc. as considered of sale of property of the company, section 497. The next one is duty of liquidator to call the creditors meeting in case of insolvency. That is section 495. If the liquidator finds that the company will not be able to pay its debt, he should tell it to the creditors with all the records. The next one is duty of the liquidator to call journal meeting at the end of each year. So in case the winding takes more than 1 year, the liquidator need to call a journal meeting and they need to tell the acts and the winding operations done by him. And next one, final meeting and resolution. So again the liquidator must make up an account of winding up showing how the company has been disposed of. Second, call the journal meeting of the company for laying the accounts before it as well as the explanations. So these are the purposes that how the company is going to wind up or how much the company is having and whether they are going to pay, whether they have the ability to pay the creditors or not. All these things, for all the records they are hiring up the liquidator. So this is the duty of liquidator. So the second one, creditors voluntary winding up. Where the board of directors does not file a declaration as to solvency of the company, the voluntary winding up is called the creditors voluntary winding up. If the member and the creditors nominate two different persons as liquidator creditors, nominee shall become the liquidator of the company. Beside, in case the creditors winding up, if the creditors so wish, a committee of inspection may be appointed to work along with the liquidators. Notice to the registrar. Again, they need to send a notice or file the notice to the registrar within 10 days of passing thereof, that they are passing a resolution, so they need to register under the registrar. Otherwise the fine will be of rupees 500 per day under section 501. Second, appointment of liquidator under section 502. The creditor and the member at their respective first meeting may nominate a person to be the liquidator but should take the board of directors into consideration. Committee of inspection, section 503. The creditors at their first or any subsequent meeting appoint a committee of the inspection of not more than 5 members. The next one, fixing of the liquidator's remuneration under section 505. The remuneration of the liquidator is fixed by the committee of inspection. The board's powers to seize the on appointment of the liquidator, section 505. All the powers of the director should go to the liquidator. So when they are winding up, so all the powers which the director is having, all the powers will be transferred to the liquidator. Duty of the liquidator to call meeting of the company and the creditors at the end of each year, within 3 months from the end of every year. And the last final meeting and resolution under section 505. Voluntary winding up under supervision of the court. Voluntary winding up may be effected under supervision of the court, where an application to that effect is made by the creditors or the contributors or the company or the liquidator, and the court makes an order that the voluntary winding up should continue subject to the supervision of the court. So over here, where the creditor or the contributor or the company, they're going to, or the liquidator, any of the person, they are going to make an effective application and they're going to give it to the court, and if court agrees, then they will pass the order that the company can wind up. Such an order is passed by the court where the resolution for winding up was obtained by fraud, that there is a fraud in the while the company was made. The rules relating to the winding up order have not been observed, that they didn't follow a particular process to wind up the company. The liquidators is prejudicial or negligent in collecting the assets. If the liquidator which they have hired, if he is not recording the things correctly, then the court is also empowered under section 527 to make an order for compulsory winding up, superseding the order of winding up under its supervision. So over here, the government is going to handle all the things, and the winding up the company will be in front of the government or the court. Contributory contributory the term contributory is defined under section 428 to mean every person liable to contribute to the assets of the company in the event of its being wound up. The expression includes the holder of any shares which are fully paid up. And the last point, a past member shall, however, be not liable to contribute if he ceases to be the member for 1 year or more before the commencement of winding up. So over here we have completed the winding up and types, and what is voluntary winding up, or given by the order or by the court, or the last one under the supervision of the court or the government. Thank you.